Welcome again, and this week on Wildlife Wednesday, I'm talking about foxes. How you doing, folks? Welcome again to Wildlife Wednesday. I doubt if there are many people in Ireland, even city dwellers, who would fail to recognise a fox if they saw one. This reddish-brown dog-like creature with its long bushy tail, which often features a white tip, is like no other animal on the Irish landscape. In fact, on a global scale, it's the most widespread carnivore in the world and can be found all over Europe and North America, including Canada. They can also be found in China, Japan and Indochina, but they're absent from Greenland, Iceland, Sub-Saharan Africa and the whole of South America. They were introduced to Australia to be hunted for sport in 1855, but had become established in the wild by the 1870s. Male foxes are called dogs and females vixens. When fully grown, the male is slightly heavier than the female, coming in at around 7 kilos or 15.5 pounds, while the female weighing about 6 kilos or just over 13 pounds. Foxes can adapt to almost any type of habitat. Although we generally think of them as woodland and open countryside dwellers, they can in actual fact be found in areas as diverse as lowlands to mountainous areas, on farmland and along coasts, and even in the heart of our modern towns and cities. Yes, urban foxes are now as common as their country cousins. They have no real preference when it comes to habitat type, and they will scavenge for food just about anywhere. And as long as there is no great disturbance around their den, they're quite happy to set up home in any location. Anyone they find suitable, that is. If a good location above ground can be found, such as under a building or a water drain, they'll use it. Failing that, they dig beneath the ground to form an earth, widening old rabbit warrens or badger sets to suit their needs. Red foxes are carnivores, but they don't specialise. Their diet depends on the season and their location. They generally hunt alone and at night, and will spend the rest of the daylight hours hidden in lie-up nests, sheltered from the elements and any possible human threat. They're opportunistic feeders and rely on a variety of techniques when hunting food. They are partial to rabbits, young hares, hedgehogs, mice and rats. They also like pigeons, and no ground nesting bird is safe when there are foxes around. When food supplies are plentiful, they store it in various sites throughout their territory to be retrieved at a later date when needed. In the past, they regularly raided domestic rubbish bins in search of food, but the modern wheelie bin has curtailed this particular activity. Nonetheless, urban foxes are incredibly adaptive and continue to survive and thrive in our towns and cities. There are certain areas here in Tala where they are seen regularly, although mostly at night and rarely during the day. But on the road in Rathfarnham where I grew up, which runs parallel with the River Dodder and is named for the river, Dodder Road, there's been a family of foxes seen almost daily for many years. And over the past few years, it has become a mecca for amateur photographers and professionals alike. Not only because of the foxes, but also because kingfishers are regularly seen perching and catching fish in the same area. I'll leave you today with a little slideshow of dodder foxes. But before I do, I'd like to share a personal story about an encounter with a truly wild fox, one which I believe had probably had very little, if any, contact with humans. I was setting up a hide in the Cooley Mountains when I had a visit from a fox who came within about 10 yards of me. He was unafraid of me, spent several minutes checking me out, and then calmly walked by me and out of sight. In passing me, he was no more than 10 feet away from me. I was thrilled that he felt I was no threat to him. And believe it or not, as darkness began to fall and I was getting ready to bed down for the night, he came back. He took one look at me and off he went. I believe he came back to make sure I was okay and to wish me good night. Well, that's my story and I'm sticking to it, so I'll leave you with my daughter Fox's slideshow. Well, thanks again for watching Wildlife Wednesday, folks. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and if you did, I'd be grateful if you'd give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget, if you do, ring the bell so that you're notified every time I upload new content. Till next week, stay safe, stay healthy, continue to maintain social distancing because we're not out of the woods yet. Take care, folks. Bye.